and welcome to the ICSE Physics Practical Experiment. Aim is to find the relation between I, the angle of incidence, and delta, the angle of deviation. So today we are going to I'm going to actually perform the practical, and I'm going to find out a relation between I and delta. But before that, let me tell you what is angle of deviation delta, what is I, and what are we going to do actually. Now see, this is a prism. One incident ray we have taken. Angle of incidence I am showing here. This I'll be taking 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, like that. Different values of I. In general, this is I. I is the angle of incidence between the incident ray and the normal. In green, this is the normal. Alright. You can show here 90-degree angle. Alright. So this I, which I'll be taking 30, 40, 50, 60, 75, 5 readings I am going to take. Okay, this is I. Now, then this ray of light, this enters the prism and suffers refraction. Alright, because denser to the rarer to denser medium, this is rarer, air to denser medium glass, so it bends towards the normal. All these things you already know. So the ray of light is inside the prism, it is this is the refracted ray, it is going like this, and then after that when it is traveling from denser to rarer medium, it goes away from the normal. The normal is this, and it is emerging like this. Alright. Now, if this prism had not been there, then this incident ray would have traveled like this, straight, that path I am showing by broken lines. If this prism had not been there, then this ray of light, this incident ray, would have traveled straight. But because of the prism, its direction is changed. See, now it is traveling like this. Fine. So if you extend this in the backward direction, it appears to come from somewhere here. Alright. So the actual path of the ray would have been this, when there had not been this prism. Because of the prism, now it is traveling like this in this direction. So how much is the deviation? This angle. This angle. Alright. The actual path of the ray is this, but now the ray is traveling like this. So this angle. This is called the angle of deviation delta. I hope it's clear. This is the angle of deviation delta. Alright. How much the ray of light has deviated from its actual path. The actual path is this, and the ray of light is going like this. Alright, so the actual path is this, but now the ray of light is traveling in this direction. Alright, this much it has deviated. Alright, delta, angle delta. So now we are going to find out for different values of angle of incidence I, we will see what's the relation between I and delta. And that relation I am telling you, we are actually going to perform the practical. I'll show you. Already I have performed the practical, the values I have got, but once again I'll show you. Now if you have a look here, as I increases, just have a look. As I increases from 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, the values are increasing. As I increases, first delta is decreasing, isn't it? When 30, it is 41. When I is increasing from 30 to 40, delta is decreasing from 41 to 40. See this. This is increasing, and from 41 to 40, decreasing. Again, this is increasing from 40 to 50, and this is further decreasing from 40 to 38. Again, I is further increased from 50 to 60. But now delta is not decreasing, it starts increasing. Now see, 60, now it is increasing from 38 to 56. When we are taking as 70, now delta is further increasing from 56 to 57.5. So the trend is, as I increases, delta first decreases, it reaches a minimum value. It reaches a minimum value, this value 38, this value 38. It reaches a minimum value 38, and then it starts again increasing. Then it starts again increasing if we keep on increasing. Alright. So this is the relation which we are going to actually find out by performing the practical. So our aim is to find the relation between I and delta. When you are writing in your practical journal, you write down to find the relation between the angle of incidence I and the angle of deviation delta. Alright. So aim, and then you know how to write down aim, after aim, the apparatus, then so many things, that order you know. Alright. Now after getting these values, if you plot a graph, what you see? You see this type of graph you are getting. See, x-axis, on the x-axis we are taking I, on the y-axis we are taking delta, the angle of deviation delta. This, alright. Now see, as I increases, delta is first decreasing, it reaches a minimum value. This is the minimum value. This is the minimum value. Say in this case 38, this is the minimum value. You can call this. This is the minimum value, delta m. This is delta m, which is in our case 38. It reaches a minimum value, and if I is further increase, then delta starts increasing. Alright, fine. So now these values I am going to show you by actually performing the practical. How are we taking different values of I, 30, 40, etc., and then how we are getting the values of delta. Okay, so let's see the experiment, practical. Okay, let's start practical. Aim to find the relation between the angle of incidence I and the angle of deviation delta. Apparatus required: a prism, a white sheet of paper, pins, board pins, etc. Now method. This is our drawing board. This we should have mentioned under the heading apparatus required. It's okay. Now this is the drawing board. On this drawing board we are going to fix this white sheet of paper with the help of board pins. Alright, now we fixed it. After fixing the white sheet of paper, we are going to place the prism. Alright, now we want to take 3 readings, so that's why we place the prism here. Alright, so here we are placing the prism, and then we draw the boundary of the prism. After drawing the boundary of the prism, we remove the prism, and then we take one incident ray, this incident ray at an angle of 30 degree, because we are taking a first angle of incidence 30 degree. So at an angle of 30, this is a normal. So at an angle of 30 degree, we take an incident ray. Fine. And then we place 2 pins on this incident ray. Now we place the prism again within the boundary like this, and what we do, already 2 pins are there on this side. Now from this side, from the other side, we will see through the prism, and we will see the images of these 2 pins along this line. And a 3rd pin we will place here in such a way that the tip of this pin and the images of these 2 pins, they all 3 are in a straight line, something like this. So I am going to place a 3rd pin. So we place a 3rd pin. You have to try again and again, and I think this is the right position. So what we do, we see the tip of this pin, the third pin. You can call this P, Q, R, and the fourth one you can call as S. So P, Q, R, you see the tip of the pin R and the images of these two pins. They all are now in a straight line. Here you can see they are in a straight line. Okay, now a fourth pin we place again in such a way that when you place this fourth pin, you have to try, and when you place this fourth pin, you have to place in such a way that when you see the tip of this fourth pin, which you are calling P, Q, R, S, so when you see the tip of this pin and the images of these two pins, they all should be just behind this pin. I mean, you should see only the tip of this pin and they are behind. Alright, that means now they are in a straight line. Okay, now we remove the prism and one by one we remove the pin also. But before we remove the pin, we need to mark the position of the pin so that we don't forget the actual position of the pin, because sometimes you try at different positions. So yeah, we mark the position of the pin and we removed all the pins, and then we have to draw this ray. We have to draw this ray. These two pins, these two pins, these positions, and all right. This is your emergent ray, and this is our incident ray, and this is the angle of deviation delta. This is the angle of that we were talking about. This is the angle of deviation delta. Got it? Okay, now we have to measure this. When we measure this, we find that this angle is, we find that you have to measure this, and you find that it is how much? Yeah, almost 41 degree. So delta is 41 degree. When the angle of incidence I is 30 degree, delta is 41 degree. This is the first reading. The same thing you have to do with the rest of the angles of incidence. You have to take 40 degree, 50 degree, 60 degree, 70 degree. Minimum 5 values, 5 readings we should take so that we can easily plot the graph. So for 30 degree we did. For 40 degree we have to do a same procedure, same method. For 50 degree on the other side we can do for 60 degree, 70 degree. After getting all these values, for 30 degree, 40 degree, 50 degree, 60 degree, 70 degree, the corresponding values of delta, we have to plot a graph. Alright, and here also we can see that as the angle of incidence increases, from 30 to 40, 50, as the angle of incidence increases, the angle of deviation delta decreases. It reaches a minimum value, which is here 38 degree, and if we further increase the angle of incidence I from 50 to 60 degree, now you can see that now it starts increasing. Now it is increasing. First it decreases, it reaches the minimum value, and now it starts again increasing if we further increase the angle of incidence I. Alright, and this is the result. This is the result that if I increases, delta decreases, it reaches a minimum value, and after that if I is further increased, delta now starts increasing. I hope things are very, very clear. So after after plotting the graph, please write down the result, and then in the end there should be precautions also. So once again, let me tell you the steps. First, aim, then apparatus required, then method. After that, there should be one observation table also, which I have done here. So I think you should draw the observation table in your journal. Draw one observation table, I, delta, serial number, etc. And then after observation table, you write down the result. And after result, in the result, what will you write down? From the observation table, we see that I'm telling you how to write down the result. So under the heading result, you will write down, we can see from the observation table, as angle of incidence increases, the angle of deviation delta decreases, it reaches a minimum value, and if I is further increased, now delta starts increasing. Fine, this is the result. After the result, there should be precautions. So write down a few points, precautions, and okay then. Thank you so much. Thanks.